The novel opens with Mr. Lockwood, a gentleman from London, renting Thrushcross Grange to escape city life. He visits his landlord, Heathcliff, at Wuthering Heights, where he encounters the house's gloomy and mysterious atmosphere, along with its strange inhabitants, Heathcliff, a young woman, Cathy Linton, and a rough young man, Hareton Earnshaw. Lockwood spends the night at Wuthering Heights, experiencing disturbing dreams, including one involving a ghostly figure named Catherine Linton. Heathcliff's anguished reaction to the mention of Catherine's name piques Lockwood's curiosity about the inhabitants' past. Returning to Thrushcross Grange, Lockwood falls ill and engages Nellie Dean, the housekeeper, to tell him the story of Wuthering Heights and its residents. Mr. Earnshaw, the owner of Wuthering Heights, brings home an orphan boy named Heathcliff. Heathcliff forms a close bond with Earnshaw's daughter, Catherine, but is resented and mistreated by her brother, Hindley. After Mr. Earnshaw's death, Hindley inherits Wuthering Heights and degrades Heathcliff to a servant. Despite this, Heathcliff and Catherine's bond deepens, although Catherine also grows close to the neighboring Lintons at Thrushcross Grange. Catherine falls in love with Edgar Linton, despite her intense connection with Heathcliff. She decides to marry Edgar for social status, believing it will elevate her. Heathcliff overhears part of her conversation with Nellie, feels betrayed, and leaves Wuthering Heights. 3 years later, Heathcliff returns wealthy and determined to exact revenge on Hindley and Edgar. He exploits Hindley's gambling addiction, gaining control of Wuthering Heights, and begins courting Isabella Linton to spite Edgar. Catherine is torn between her love for Heathcliff and her marriage to Edgar, leading to emotional turmoil and illness. Heathcliff and Catherine have a passionate, painful reunion before she dies giving birth to her daughter, Cathy Linton. Isabella regrets marrying Heathcliff due to his cruelty. She escapes to give birth to their son, Linton Heathcliff, but dies when he is still young. Cathy grows up at Thrushcross Grange, unaware of her family's troubled history. She meets her cousin, Linton, and they begin a relationship encouraged by Heathcliff, who sees it as a means to gain control of Thrushcross Grange. Heathcliff forces Cathy to marry the ailing Linton. After Linton's death, Heathcliff gains ownership of both Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange. Initially antagonistic, Cathy and Hareton eventually develop a bond and fall in love. Their relationship signifies the potential for healing and the end of the cycle of revenge and hatred initiated by Heathcliff. Obsessed with Catherine's memory, Heathcliff becomes increasingly unhinged, neglecting his physical health. He ultimately dies, seemingly eager to reunite with Catherine in death. The novel ends with Cathy and Hareton planning to marry and move to Thrushcross Grange, leaving Wuthering Heights behind. This union symbolizes the reconciliation of the two families and offers a hopeful resolution to the novel's tragic events.